Hello, this is Dr. Do again. This video is outside of medicine, continuing the book Ecclesiastes. I have finished chapter 6, part of chapter 6, actually just the last paragraph, 3 verses of chapter 6, and then move on to chapter 7. So just put everything together. I think this Ecclesiastes actually beginning saying this is the words of a teaching who is Solomon, and he is organized in this way, talking about the meaningless of the world, either the everything, the wisdom and the pleasure, and then toil, and then talk about the time is everything. On top of those meaningless, seize the time, seize the moment, opportunity. So I think this is and also talk about oppression, toilment, friendlessness, and then talk about the advancement is meaningless. So these are another group of meaningless, in addition to the previous talk about meaningless, and then talk about the standing in awe of God. So on top of those meaningless things, and stand with God. And then after that, talk about the riches are meaningless. And then on this, so that's the part of chapter 5 and chapter 6. I finished by chapter 6 and move on to chapter 7. I think another summary, wisdom. So talk about different kind of meaningless and what you should do. First of all, to deal with those meaningless, then seize the time. And to deal with the second meaningless group of meaningless thing, and to stand in awe of God. And now I think deal with the third level of the meaningless. I think chapter 7 mentioned seek wisdom. So this is how it is organized from my understanding. So I'm going to continue to read. Whatever exists has already been named, and what man is has been known. No man can contend with one who is stronger than he. The more the words, the less the meaning, then how does that profit anyone? For who knows what is good for a man in life? During the few and meaningless days he passes through like a shadow. Who can tell him what will happen under the sun after he is gone? Wisdom, chapter 7. A good man is better than fine perfume, and the day of death better than the day of birth. It is better to go to a house of mourning than to go to a house of feasting. For death is the destiny of every man. Living should take this to heart. Sorrow is better than laughter, because a sad face is good for the heart. The heart of the wise is in the house of mourning, but the heart of fools is in the house of pleasure. It is better to heed a wise man's rebuke than to listen to the songs of fools. Like the crackling of thorn under the pot, so is the laugh of fools. This too is meaningless. Extortion turns a wise man into a fool, but under bribe corrupt the heart. The end of a matter is better than its beginning, and patience is better than pride. Do not be quick provoked in your spirit, for anger resides in the lap of fools. Do not say, why were the old days better than these? For it is not wise to ask such questions. Wisdom, like an inheritance, is a good thing and benefits those who see the sun. Wisdom is a shelter, as money is a shelter, but the advantage of knowledge is this, that wisdom preserves the life of his possessor. So I'm going to finish here today and move on in next video. So this is the end of chapter 6. If you recall, previously talk about the riches are meaningless, and also talk about what he had seen in the world. Those things, all of them are meaningless. And then this is to say, whatever exists has already been named, and what man has been known. So this is repeated, previously mentioned. What is going to happen has been happened before, has been happening before. So this nothing is new, because it is dwelling in the heart. The heart is being created. Everybody knows it. And then no man can contend with the one who is stronger than he. So this is the nature of the man. This is what man is has been known. What man is, this is the man. No man can contend with the one who is stronger than he. So this is the nature of the man. The more the word, the less the meaning. And how does that profit anyone? So this saying that do not need to talk that much. I think sometimes action. For who knows what is good for a man in life? During the few and meaningless days, he passes through like a shadow. Who can tell him what will happen under the sun after he's gone? So this means there's so many things is unpredictable during the lifetime or after the lifetime. Wisdom is the title of chapter 7. A good man is better than fine perfume, and the day of death better than the day of birth. What kind of wisdom is that? I think that's probably saying that how the life, he's the wisest man, he's the richest man, but he's probably one of the least happy man in the world, because he said that the day of death is better than the day of birth. It is better to go, it is real, but nobody say it, only him. It is better to go to a house of mourning than to go to a house of feasting, for death is the destiny for every man. The living should take this to heart. So this is saying, do not laugh at wrong time, in the wrong place. Keep solemn and also mourning. Sorrow is better than laughter, because a sad face is good for the heart. So this means do not laugh for nothing, or do not randomly laugh or happy. The heart of the wise is in the house of mourning, but the heart of fool is in the house of pleasure. So this is saying that the mourning, and if you recall the Egyptians, they're a lot all the time. They always put dust in the face when there's something happening. So that means humble in front of the God. It is better to hear the wise man's rebuke than to listen to the sounds of fools. Like the crackling of thorns under the pot, so is the laughter of fools. This too is meaningless. So this is saying that either rebuke from the wise or flattered by the fool. So these are regardless. It's just meaningless. Extortion turns a wise man into a fool, and a bribe corrupts the heart. This is the talking about another real of man already known. Is first of all, we know it if a man cannot tolerate another man who is better than them, and also this is saying that the extortion, the pressure, will turn the man's heart, and also the crops along with the crops. So the end of a matter is better than its beginning, and the patience is better than pride. So this is saying the process itself, probably sometimes or the beginning or the process cannot say anything, but the end. Do not be quickly provoked in your spirit, for anger resides in the lap of fools. This is saying the real, control the temper. Do not say, why were the old days better than these? For it is not wise to ask such questions. I think this is repeated previously mentioned. Do not look back, just move forward. So this is saying the same thing. Do not say that yesterday is better. I think that's really wise. Wisdom, like an inheritance, is a good thing and benefits those who see the sun. Wisdom is a shelter, as money is a shelter. But the advantage of knowledge is this: the wisdom preserves the life of its possessors. So the wisdom and the money both are important in the world, but the wisdom, I think, is sublime the money, because the wisdom can preserve lives. So this is about a part of chapter 7. I'm going to stop here today. Hope that you can read it, interpret in your own way. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time.